What really tore apart Korea's most beloved couple? For years, fans believed in the fairy tale romance between Song Hye Kyo and Song Joong Ki, until it all came crashing down. Now, in a stunning twist, Song Hye Kyo's parents have broken their silence, revealing details that were hidden from the public eye. Is this the truth we've all been waiting for? Let Red Carpet Revealed take you deep inside the secrets, the heartbreak, and the shocking reality behind the Song couple's fall from grace. When Song Hye Kyo and Song Joong Ki announced their marriage in 2017, the world didn't just celebrate, it believed. Believed in fate, believed in fairy tales, believed that two of Korea's most beloved stars had found their forever in each other. They were the Song couple, born from the global sensation descendants of the sun, hailed as Korea's answer to royalty. Their wedding was televised, their photos plastered across continents, their smiles worshipped like deities. But that was just the surface. Behind closed doors, something was slowly, painfully unraveling. A marriage that looked like a fantasy was becoming a silent battlefield, and the woman the world thought had it all was breaking. The silence breaks. Years after the headlines faded, the cameras turned away, and the fans moved on. One voice emerged from the shadows, one that had remained silent through it all. Song Dae-seop, the father of Song Hye Kyo, finally spoke. People saw two stars in love. What they didn't see was my daughter crying alone in a room no one could enter. According to Mr. Song, what the public saw was a high-budget illusion, rehearsed, polished, media perfect. But within the walls of their luxury home, a different story played out, one of emotional coldness, control, and an invisible cage tightening around his daughter's spirit. Cracks beneath the glamour. As the relationship progressed, those closest to Song Hye Kyo began noticing subtle, chilling signs. She became reclusive, distant. There were cancelled plans, unanswered calls, eyes that no longer sparkled. She stopped laughing the way she used to. A close family friend revealed. There was always something behind her smile, something unfinished. It wasn't one explosive argument or scandal that broke them, it was 1,000 quiet cuts. According to sources, Joong Ki held traditional views about marriage and expected Hye Kyo to follow a certain mold, one she simply couldn't. And wouldn't fit into. She wasn't his co-star anymore. She was expected to be something else. Obedient, silent, and compliant. He wanted a wife who obeyed. Mr. Song said, but my daughter was born to stand tall, not bend. The night everything changed. One rainy night, months before the public ever suspected trouble, Song Hye Kyo made a phone call to her parents. It was past midnight, and her voice, usually composed and delicate, trembled. "Appa, can I come home?" she whispered. That night, her parents said, was the first time she used the word divorce. Not in rage, not in despair, but in clarity. Something had broken. Something inside her had decided, this love is not love at all. Her mother, long silent on the issue, finally spoke during the same conversation. She didn't leave because she didn't love him. She left because she couldn't love herself anymore while staying. Behind the divorce filing, in 2019, when Song Joong Ki stunned the public by being the one to file for divorce first. Many painted him as the victim of a cold, emotionally unavailable wife. Rumors swirled that Hye Kyo was too focused on her career, too private, too distant. But according to the family, he filed first because he wanted to control the narrative. Filing first gave him the public sympathy, and her. The silence. She didn't speak up. She didn't fight the headlines. She let him play the role of the heartbroken husband. Mr. Song said bitterly, but she paid the price for her silence. And indeed, she did. The internet was flooded with blame. Comment sections turned vicious. Headlines dissected her facial expressions. Paparazzi hunted her down, but she never responded. After the storm, following the divorce, Song Hye Kyo disappeared from the public eye for months. She left Korea. She focused on painting, travel, and rediscovering herself far from the suffocating gaze of celebrity culture. Her parents described her as wounded but waking up. Each day, she rebuilt a little more, reading, writing, sometimes just sitting in silence without fear. And when she returned to the screen in the glory, it wasn't just another role. It was a rebirth. That wasn't just acting. That was her bleeding through the screen. A longtime makeup artist shared. Every glare, every tear, it was her truth. Finally finding a voice. The truth, however, was never in the headlines. It was in the spaces in between. In the subtle changes. The missing laughter. The tired eyes of a woman who had once burned so brightly. Those close to Song Hye Kyo noticed the change before anyone else. She grew quieter, distant. A stylist recalled how she used to sing softly during makeup sessions, until one day she stopped. A manager mentioned how she once stayed late after a shoot, long after everyone had left. Sitting alone in a corner with her phone face down. She looked like she was trying to find something inside herself. He said. Even her family saw it. Her father revealed that she would come home unannounced. Sometimes without even a bag. She would sit in the kitchen, silent, staring at the floor. When asked if everything was all right, her answer was always the same. I don't know who I am when I'm with him. The love the world envied had turned into a mirror she could no longer look into. And so, one night, she made the decision that would change everything. Not with drama, not with noise, but with a quiet, resolute certainty. She would walk away, not because she stopped loving him, but because she needed to love herself again. When Song Joong-ki filed for divorce first, many assumed he was the one who wanted out. But according to those close to Hye Kyo, she allowed it, chose not to contest it, because she was tired. Tired of fighting a narrative she could never control. Tired of defending a marriage that was no longer alive. And then she disappeared. No statements. No rebuttals. Just absence. For months. She was off the grid. No new projects. No social media updates. Just whispers that she was traveling. Italy. New York. Jeju Island. She was looking for something. Or maybe she was just learning to exist again without the weight of a love that had become too heavy to carry. Then came the glory. When the drama aired, viewers praised her chilling performance. Critics called it her comeback. But those who knew her knew it wasn't just acting. It was a release. The anger in her eyes. The pain beneath her calm. The coldness in her delivery. This wasn't just a role. It was her voice, finally. Fearlessly speaking. That wasn't fiction. A former colleague said. That was her truth in disguise. And so, she returned, not to the woman the world had known, but to someone deeper, someone quieter, someone more complete. She began turning down interviews, declining events. She started saying no, something she once struggled with. She no longer smiled for every photo. She stopped asking if people still liked her. Instead, she began asking, do I like myself today? The song Marriage became a memory. Not a regret, not a tragedy, just a closed chapter. And in that closure, she found peace. There are still questions. Will she fall in love again? Will she marry again? Does she believe in forever anymore? Maybe, maybe not. But that's not the story anymore. Because the real story isn't about the man who left. It's about the woman who stayed, with herself. The woman who chose silence over spectacle. Peace over perception. Healing over headlines. Not all beautiful love lasts. And sometimes, the one who walks away is the bravest one of all. Her mother once said. And maybe that's the ending this story deserves. Not a fairy tale. Not a scandal. Just a woman standing alone at the edge of everything. Strong. Scarred. And still shining. Because sometimes, the most powerful kind of love is the one we give back to ourselves. And sometimes, the real beginning starts after the goodbye.